Hi and welcome. Ever since I moved to Sweden, when I hear that Swedish brand is getting international recognition or is successful, I'm really excited. I don't have the same feelings when it comes to German brands. That just shows that I really feel at home slowly here in Sweden after 4 years living here. So in today's video, I want to talk about the biggest, most successful Swedish companies who were founded in Sweden. Before I moved to Sweden, I really didn't know that some of these Swedish brands are actually from Sweden. So only when I moved here, I became slowly aware that they're Swedish brands. And I kind of feel a sense of pride, which is really weird because I'm not Swedish, I'm German. And why am I making this kind of video? Because I thought it's quite fun to look at brands and see if they are Swedish. I'm sure when you see the brand name, you're very familiar with them, but it is possible that you didn't know they started in Sweden. And the list is really long. I couldn't put all of those Swedish brands in today's video, but you can contribute and let me know if there's any other Swedish brands I need to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Before we dive into the list of most successful Swedish brands, make sure to subscribe to my newsletter. You find a link down in the description below. You will also get a little ebook with 10 questions if Sweden is the right fit for you. Sign up in the link down below. Let's get started. You know why I also think this topic is really interesting for people who want to move to Sweden or maybe already live in Sweden. I was wondering what is it about Sweden that they are so innovative, cool ideas which actually make it, worldwide, international. And I was looking up a little bit, what could it be? I mean, there's my opinion, and I also wanted to see what's the overall opinion. And maybe it's, the culture of equality and collaboration here. That means, often or in companies or even at school, everyone's idea is really valued. Then there's also the aspect of this social safety net, where you can go wild a little bit and give your idea a try, and if it doesn't work, you can just go back into work. For example, people have really the freedom to risk things and try new things here. And also and that's something I already discovered a little bit, especially from a very early age, in kindergarten and school, they really focus on creativity and independence. And I think, that's a great recipe for innovation. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, let's start with the amazing list of Swedish brands and companies. So the first one I want to mention is IKEA, which all of you probably know, but I have to mention it here because sometimes you don't really know the story behind it. And it was founded in 1943 by a 17-year-old. His name was Ingvar Kamprad. And I'm so fascinated because 17 years old is, really young to think about something like that. He really wanted to create furniture which is affordable to everyone. And, he also invented this flat pack design. I don't want to go into super details because there are more Swedish companies, but I'm still very impressed by IKEA. And then there is Spotify, and you probably know Spotify as well, world-leading music streaming platform. And I just love that, all of these kind of companies solve a problem. And Spotify was actually founded in 2006 by Daniel Ek and Martin Lorentzon. And they really wanted to disrupt the music industry and make music accessible to everyone. I find also both IKEA and Spotify have also a bit of the Swedish kind of culture behind them, because Sweden is all about including everyone and, making it accessible for everyone. The equality part here plays a big role. Then there is Minecraft. And actually I was watching a video the other day on LinkedIn about Minecraft, and it inspired this video because they were comparing like all the very famous video games, and Minecraft was on top of everything because it was sold more than 300 million times, and that is more than any other game. And Minecraft started in 2009 by Marcus Persson, and he really just started it for himself in a little community, and then it got really big. And what I actually like about Minecraft is that it is a game which doesn't have like real violence in it. I know I'm talking like to a lot of Swedes right now as well, and I know that gaming is quite big in Sweden, and my partner loves gaming, and we often have a bit of a debate about it. I'm not the biggest fan of computer games, but I'm more of a fan when there is no violence included. Let's say that. And then the next company I want to mention is Lovable. And maybe you haven't heard of Lovable yet because it's a very, very new company. And again, like I kept on reading like some articles about it. And that's why I also wanted to include it here, because it's really a rising company. It's a Swedish AI-powered platform that lets anyone create apps and websites without, any knowledge of code. It's just with prompting AI to create whatever you want. And I think that's mind-blowing. And it was only founded in 2023 and kind of publicly launched end of 2024. So it's almost, you can say well-known, less than a year. And I have seen people creating cool things with it. So it's really disrupting the industry again. I mean, every company kind of like solve a problem and maybe disrupt the industry, but I think Sweden is doing it very well. So I really wanted to mention Lovable, and maybe I leave a link down in the description below, but you can also probably just Google Lovable and check it out yourself. I'm still thinking like what kind of app or website I could create. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments below. Maybe it's something to do with my Living Swedish channel. And if you love this video and my YouTube channel in general, make sure to subscribe. I really appreciate you. So the list goes on, and I will not go into all the details of every company because otherwise this video is way too long, but you can always look up any companies I'm mentioning here. There's obviously H&M. I had to mention H&M, Hennes och Mauros or and Mauros. You probably have clothes at home from H&M. And again, it is a brand which wanted to bring affordable fashion to everyone. And it was founded in 1947, so it's quite an older company. Then there's Volvo Cars. You probably have seen them, founded in 1927. Then there's Absolut Vodka. And I did not know that Absolut Vodka was Swedish. Now I know. And then I wanted to know a little bit more about it. And actually, the company was founded in 1879. So it's quite an old brand. And only in 1979, still quite a while ago, before I was born actually, they rebranded this iconic bottle, which you know now. And it was actually inspired by a Swedish medicine bottle. So I thought it was quite an interesting fact. And then there's Klarna, founded in 2005. You probably have seen somewhere when you're online shopping, buy now, pay later. So they have this payment system where you can pay in installments or pay later, basically. A flexible payment system. And then there's Oatly, and I know Oatly, and I even use it every now and then. I mean, I'm not vegan or anything, but I like to not consume, too much of something like milk, although I don't drink much milk anyways. But yeah, I was very surprised that Oatly is actually exists a little bit longer, from 1994. So I was wondering, like, I have the feeling it's relatively new, or maybe in the last 10 years, and it's because 10 years ago or 9 years ago, 2016, they started to expand in the US, and they got really famous for having alternative milk in coffee shops. So they really went for the strategy of bringing Oatly to a lot of coffee shops around the US, and then it started from there to go mainstream eventually. But only really in 2017, 18, 19. So it's actually not too long ago, and that's why I had the feeling actually they don't exist that long, but the company itself does exist quite a while. So then there is Electrolux, also a bit of an older company, and maybe not so obvious because it's a Swedish brand behind so many of the reliable home appliances like fridges or hoovers, vacuums. And then there's King, and I actually went to the office, well, quite a while ago. I think it was this year, sometime in winter, at the beginning of the year. And they're very famous for Candy Crush game, for example. I think it's called Candy Crush Saga. You know, I don't know anything about games. But the company was founded in 2003. And they obviously have other games as well. And then there is Cause, collection of style. It was founded in 2007. It's a fashion brand, you know, effortlessly chic and minimalistic designs. It's quite Swedish, I would say. You know, minimalism is kind of a thing. Then there's Other Stories. And Other Stories are a brand from the H&M group, but it was founded in 2013, and it has a bit of a different kind of approach. You know, it's more creative and individualistic styles, and it's also a little bit more expensive. So it's not, you know, like H&M, the original kind of fashion. Then there is Acne Studios, and maybe you know of them. If you're a little bit into fashion, it also has like really cool minimalistic, but also like creative edges like the fashion. And it was founded in 1996 in Stockholm. Then there's Fjällräven, which I kind of looked it up. The translation is the Arctic Fox. I remember this brand a lot in Germany already, so it's quite popular there as well. It was actually founded in 1960. Yeah, there are these Konken backpacks everywhere. That's what I remember. And actually we have also one now at home. So it's kind of like durable, stylish gear for outdoor adventures. It's a really cool brand and also a bit more expensive, I would say. Then there's Happy Socks. And I didn't know that Happy Socks are actually from Sweden. Founded in 2008. And the funny thing is, you know, if you know Happy Socks, they're really bright colors and really like bold and patterns and or like comic styles or whatever. And I feel like it's such a different style to, you know, the minimalistic kind of Scandinavian Swedish style. And maybe that's the point. That's probably why they wanted to come up with something more fun, because everything is quite white and black and gray, which I personally love. But I get it, you know, you want a little bit of color here and there in your life. And so they wanted to disrupt a little bit the standard fashion kind of styles here in Sweden. And now it's a worldwide brand, you know, they're in over 90 countries and 10,000 stores worldwide to just bring like happiness and colorfulness to everyone. So I kind of like the ethos behind it. Then there's Daniel Wellington. And I remember I saw Daniel Wellington everywhere on Instagram at one point. And I looked it up, and actually that was also their plan to have, you know, to kind of like approach like digitally, having a digital strategy and approach like influencers and everything like that. And people like that to kind of get their brand out there. And they started in 2011. So it's kind of like minimalist, sleek watches. Then there's Polestar, founded in 1996. It's a high performance electric car. So maybe you have heard of it. I think it's owned by Volvo now. Then there's Ericsson. Ericsson is also probably one of the most iconic brands in Sweden, founded in 1876. It's basically a giant telecommunications network. Then there's Tetra Pak. And the funny thing is, I always thought that was German, because Tetra Pak always sounded so German to me, but it is a Swedish company. And if you have a milk Tetra Pak, or, I mean, you know, it's a brand that you wouldn't say carton anymore, like milk carton, you would say milk Tetra Pak. That's how we did it in my home. It's like, do you have a Tetra Pak? childhood memories. But yeah, it's from Sweden, juice boxes, milk cartons and stuff like that. So it kind of revolutionized food preservation. And there's also Scania, which is maybe less popular, but if you have seen any trucks, you know, on the road, sometimes it says Scania, so they're quite popular. And the list goes on, and I'm just throwing out some more names, and you let me know if you didn't know any of those brands, or if you know any more brands, Swedish brands, which are quite successful. There is Byredo, Atlas Copco, Saab, Husqvarna, Oriflame, Sandvik and Autoliv. I mean, most of them are quite industrial kind of brands, you know. Most of them maybe don't know them. I didn't know most of them. That's why I kind of put them at the end. I mean, I have heard them maybe here and there, but I definitely wasn't aware that these are Swedish brands. So yeah, Sweden might be a small country, but has so many successful businesses, which is kind of cool and makes me also kind of proud to live in this country now. And my kids are growing up, and I just envision for them to be, you know, creative and innovative, and who knows what they will come up with in their lives. Thanks so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in my next video. Hej då!